Hello, welcome to a new episode, a new interview. It's been a while, and today we have Presley.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here and to chat with you. So,
Welcome. For the audience to understand a bit, who are you? Why are you here? What is it that brought you here to
mhm.
share? And yes, introduce yourself a
Okay.
bit.
Well, for starters, my name is Presley Garland. I'm 21 years old and I'm originally from Georgia in the United States. I'm here modeling, and that's how I met
How we met?
Martin. We through my roommate actually. She met him in Barcelona, right?
Yes.
And then we decided to do yoga one time and got to chit chatting, and he invited me here on his podcast. I was like, absolutely, I would love it. So I grew up on a farm, horse farm, competing in rodeos and barrel racing.
Yes.
And
The first thing when we met, you
yeah,
mentioned that you were competing in what is especially the sport or the competition, the name.
it's called barrel racing in
Okay,
rodeos, and so it's a very like American sport. It's a very
okay,
like Western heritage and all of that. So I compete basically, if I had to explain, there's three barrels set up in a triangle,
yes.
and it's me and my horse, and we try to get around all three of them this way
Uh-huh.
without knocking them over, and fastest time wins.
Hey! Come on!
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you mentioned this, for me, I come from Argentina,
Mm-hmm.
nothing at all related to it, and it was like, wait,
Yeah.
there's so much, so special. I feel, and what attracts me the most is competing with an animal that is part of
Mm-hmm.
your team, that is part of you in that
Yeah.
moment. And that was like the main thing. And also growing up in a farm,
Mm-hmm.
something very special. So yes, I think that what attracted me the most was like, how did you end up in competing, and with your relationship with nature, your horse? How is it like?
Well, I'm the first horse girl of my family. I didn't
Okay,
I didn't live on a farm until I was about 15, but I always say I grew up on a farm because I was always
okay,
around horses and animals, and I was always the one bringing in any sort of animal I could find. And at the age of 6, I
uh-huh,
begged my mom and dad to put me on a horse. And down the line in the family of my mom, she has some rodeo people, but she never
yeah.
did that. She was a professional singer, and so
Really,
yeah.
wow.
And my dad, he built businesses for himself, and so like this was a whole new world for him, and for both of them, really,
For everyone
for
was
everyone,
something new.
yeah.
Okay.
And I was 6 years old, and my grandpa finally took me to go ride, and ever since then, that was it. I fell in love with the animal, and then I discovered barrel racing when I first started taking lessons,
Uh-huh.
and I fell in love with it, really.
How was your first? Do you remember the first time you met a horse, and how the impact that it had on you, like connecting with the
Yeah.
animal? And do you have a clear memory, or was like something impactful, or
I don't have a clear memory of the first time that I met a horse or anything like that, because I mean, living in the South, they're kind of everywhere, right? But it was
uh-huh.
just, they're such amazing creatures and animals. I mean, they have a heart bigger than any of them. They have just this want to work and this want to please.
Uh-huh.
And when they connect with a human, it's so important. And it's like, I mean, there's therapy that people do with horses. Like horse therapy is a very real thing. And I mean, the smell of them is so distinct, and it's like it just brings me back to comfort and to a state of peace almost.
When you think of a horse,
Mm-hmm.
what does it represent in your mind? What does it bring to you as a feeling, as a thought? If you, it's the image of a horse for you, what does it represent?
That's my passion. Truly, horses are my passion. I mean, they are. I'm through and through a horse girl. So I think of just it's not always peaceful, but it is also. You know, like competing isn't always peaceful, but just
Uh-huh.
animals having that kind of connection with an animal that big and that strong and powerful is so, it's so special. It's so different, and it's something I'm really grateful to have, because it's like in my mind I just picture green and I picture them running through the fields in front of my yard, and it's just like a, like you can just sit
Yes.
down and just breathe.
And also, horses and nature are very connected.
Mm-hmm.
For you growing up in a city, but also having been in touch with nature and the farm,
Mm-hmm.
what do you think it gave you in your identity and growing up and learning to have both? What did it give to you?
it, it gave me myself almost, because it was, I mean, yes, I did grow up in a city, but also being able to go to the farm or go to my horses, it's like an escape. Truly, I mean, being in nature and seeing what God has made and given to all of us is so special, and I can't even like really describe it, because it's so, it's like something I hold very deep in my heart, and so it's like it's my escape.
You don't imagine a life without connecting with nature and
Exactly.
being it part of you.
Mm-hmm. And even though like now living in Milan, or doing the modeling, and being in different cities for multiple months at a time, it's
Uh-huh.
like the second I land back in Georgia and I know that I can go see my horses or my animals, anything like that, it's really important.
Your roots.
Yeah, truly, my roots. And it's like I can remember just going and sitting in the field, not worrying about dirt or bugs or anything like that. I don't care. Like I would go barefoot in it, and it's so funny because people tell me I'm like the real life Hannah Montana, because I go from like, no, literally, literally, and so like I'll go from set and runway shows and working for
Yeah.
Prada or anything like that, and then I'm right back to
Yeah,
cleaning horse stalls and cleaning
yes,
after them,
wow,
and
it's
it's
true,
just,
it's true. It's a
yeah,
big contrast.
very big, yeah.
And this comes to me now. How was the impact of entering? How when did you start with modeling?
I started my last year of high school rodeo, so I was a senior in high school, so I was probably 17 or 18,
How
and
was the impact of going from nature to such a superficial and different world?
yeah,
How do you feel?
um, it was something I was really open to, honestly, because I was scouted over Instagram by my wonderful mother agent, and I told her, I was like, I was making nationals at this point. I was number 2 in the state, and the top
Wow.
3 have to go to,
You were top two in what rank?
in high school rodeo. So the National High School Rodeo
Okay.
Association is huge in the U.S., and it takes, I mean, it's basically like a high school sport, but it's also like you don't have to. I was homeschooled growing up, and because
Okay.
horses were my entire life. I mean, I was traveling all over the country and taking care of them and making sure that they're in shape and doing all of that. And so it was like,
Like someone who gives their lives to sport, they have
yeah,
to give your life to that, and
I mean,
horses were your
exactly.
thing.
Yeah. And I was open to it because I had been doing it for so long that I was almost excited to see what else was out there. And I knew that I would
Uh-huh.
never give up horses, and that would never be something that I would just like, okay, now I'm done. And a lot of people were like, you have to choose. And I was like, I don't actually, and I'm not going to. I choose both. And so I had told my mother agent, I was like, before I go off on any contract or I go work, I'm finishing out this high school rodeo season. And so I did end up number 3 in the state, because the state finals was very tough, and then ended up going to Wyoming and competing, and at the national finals, which takes all the top competitors in every state,
Uh-huh.
even Hawaii, Alaska, like
All of
all of
yes.
them. And we even had some competitors from Mexico too. But it was funny because I was doing a little bit of test shoots in between. So I would like
Uh-huh.
fly to New York and do test shoots. And then that weekend, I land on a Thursday and I load my horses up and I'm at the rodeo. And
The
people are like,
real
what are
Hannah
you doing?
Montana.
Literally, literally. And so it was just something that I never gave up and I never will. And like even now, I still have 4 horses right now.
Uh-huh.
And I love them
Wow.
all.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think one thing that I really appreciate about modeling is that the contrast you find, because you find people from every area of life, like you
Mm-hmm.
with horses, you can find people who were never meant to do modeling, but they end up there. So
Yeah.
the richness of what you can find is endless.
Oh yeah. I mean, with modeling, I meet some of the crazy. I mean, even like you, what are the odds of
Yes.
meeting just everyone and hearing their stories and how different and how cool the world is, really, how cool people are.
Yeah.
It's so important.
And everything starts from opening the mind.
Exactly.
Like you were with your thing, horses, but you decided why not? Why want to see what is out there?
Yeah.
So it's everything from the
Yeah.
will to try.
And my parents are very, very supportive, very blessed with supportive family, and they were like, please go see the world, go. They're like, I regret not doing that at a young age, and they were like, I want you to go experience different cultures and different people and different places and see the history and all of that. So it was one thing doing that with rodeo, because we all are kind of like a big family, but we all are so different. And then going and doing modeling and kind of getting that same experience of finding your family, but it's all over the world now. So
Going back to the horses, how is your relationship with when you first meet a just born horse, and how it goes through every I don't know how it works,
yeah.
but when it's born until today is your horse and you compete with him or her, how is that relationship?
Well, I actually just had my first baby. I say I had my first baby, but I started a breeding business with some of my mares, which are the female horses, and I was in a fitting for Fashion Week in Mexico City, and I get a FaceTime from my trainer, because right now all my horses are at my trainer's, and I get a FaceTime and I'm watching her be born. Wow. And it was like the most insane thing, because I'm like getting everyone around me like, come look, and seeing that is so special, because I had that mare, her mom, for 2 years at that point, and I competed with her, but I'd known that horse for a long time before I had the opportunity to own her. And so then just seeing like all the pregnancy, and still the first time I was able to go see the baby, it was so special. It really was, because she's like a replica of her mom. And but her name is Bad Baby, because her mom is baby girl and strong personality. Very strong. Like every single horse has a completely different personality, and so that's always fun to kind of get to know them. Yeah, discover what their likes and their dislikes. And a lot of people do not like baby girl because she is high strung and she can be a brat even, and I'm like, that's just her, don't mind her. And so I knew her baby would be the exact same, but now she's almost a year old and she has gotten so big and just beautiful. And so it's such a beautiful experience to watch them grow and watch them succeed. I haven't had the opportunity to raise a baby and then watch it run yet, but I'm really excited for that.
You really feel them as family and part of you.
Exactly,
really.
Yeah. Especially in rodeo, some people think like, oh my gosh, these animals are tortured or whatever. I'm like, girl, these animals are treated 10 times better than sometimes we treat ourselves. Truly. Like, we take care of them as family. I would bring them into the house if I could. So.
If you had to say the one thing that horses had taught them, that had taught you, like in one thing that you've learned from horses, in any sense.
I don't even know where to begin, because I've learned so much. I mean, I've learned responsibility, I've learned problem solving, I've learned how to communicate without using your words too, because I mean, you do have to communicate with the animal. And
how I think that is very interesting. How do you communicate? What are the main channels to communicate with your horse?
It's just kind of like having an understanding, right? You get to know them, and you kind of have to see their cues as well, because like if you get around a horse that's not safe, I mean, these are very dangerous animals, and so if you're not aware of their cues or of like any sort of movement, you have to be like kind of on edge and very aware. And so I've been kicked, I've been stomped on.
Really?
Oh yeah, I've been tackled, I've been all of it, and it's just like you have to be completely aware, and the slightest little like red flag that goes on, they could be starting to colic, which is a deadly thing for them. It's like a deadly, their tummy hurts pretty much, and it's like you have to watch for all of the signs, and they'll tell you they'll tell you what's going on. I've had, some horses that had injuries that no one could find, and we're like, nope, there's something still wrong. You just have to really know your horse and know what they're trying to tell you. It's hard, but
Yes,
you
it's
figure it out.
very intuitive and a true connection with the animal.
Exactly.
Wow.
I had 6 horses in my barn at one point, and every morning and every night I'd go and feed them and everything. I mean, I'm out there with those horses pretty much all the time, and as you get to know them, you know their signs and their just how they are. And it's like I could walk in, look at a horse, and be like, "There's something not right with him," and call the vet or figure out something. And it's just getting to know them. Yeah,
And I guess it taught you a lot to listen to yourself,
exactly. Trusting
because
your gut.
so many times it depended really on you to recognize and be sensitive enough to listen to him or her,
Yeah.
but at the same time listening to you. And did this capacity or skill is part of you in the daily life? Like, how connected are you to yourself in other areas of life?
I'm very big on discernment and intuition and listening to my gut, because trusting in yourself and knowing your body knows what's right and what's wrong. And as long as you listen to yourself, then you just have to trust it. I mean, there's been plenty of times where I've learned that through rodeo and through horses. I mean, even during a run, I mean, you've got milliseconds to make a decision that could make or break your run. And I've kind of now moved that into daily life and even into modeling as well. And it's really cool now that I think about it. I actually haven't thought about how I've transitioned that into everyday life, but yeah.
Yeah, because I think in the end, the deepest and the strongest thing is nature, because we are nature and everything around us in the base is nature. So when we connect to that thing that many times it's not easy to describe, it's not easy to quantify, but it's just a feeling.
Yeah.
And really listening to it and giving the power that it deserves makes a difference in so many situations.
Definitely. And a lot of prayers to God, being like, if I don't know what's going on, he'll tell me. And
because so many times it depends on you, but you don't have the control neither.
Exactly.
So you're just there, sometimes maybe even alone or with God and whatever sustains you. But
always with God. He's always with us. And so it's like anytime I'm not sure, I'm always, tell me, and he will.
Do you have a in your career, do you have specific moments that were specifically challenging, or things that you say, I will never forget this and this will be part of me because of this?
With horses?
Yes.
When I was 13 at the Youth World Finals, I had an accident. My saddle broke, and it was during a run, so it was on the way home, which is back to the alley from the third barrel, and that's the fastest your horse goes the entire time. And my saddle broke, and so I came off the side of my horse, and I ended up breaking 6 or 7 ribs, shattering my shoulder blade, puncturing my lung, and my lung collapsed. And that was just a very eye-opening experience, especially at such a young age.
You were 13.
I was 13, yeah. I was in the ICU for a week, and that was something that kind of has stuck with me my entire life, but it's also like, it's made me realize that at any moment it could all be over, and you just have to enjoy life, and you can't take anything too seriously, truly. And it's like, I remember getting up, well, honestly, I remember, like, they say your life will flash before your eyes, and truly it does. Like, it's such an insane experience. And I remember getting up, my poor horse, her name was Molly. She was running around the arena, and I'm over here like white because I can't breathe. And I'm like, someone had already like grabbed me to keep me steady. And I was like, where's my horse? Where's my horse? Like, that was my number one concern. I didn't care what was going on with me. It was like, where's my horse? Molly? Is she okay? And my mom always laughs because she was sitting in the ICU room with me, and I had just like woken up and kind of become aware after everything. It was probably like a day after. And I'm sitting with oxygen, neck brace, like I can't move. I'm on my phone, and she looks over because she had just woken up, and she was like, "What are you doing?" And I was searching for a new saddle. My saddle broke. I needed a new one. Like I don't give up. Like that's just because this one thing happened. I mean, that was
Yeah,
my
you
passion. I
don't
wasn't going
stop.
to give up. I mean, there's been plenty of times where they call it the roller coaster of barrel racing because there's tons of ups, but right after those ups, there's going to be downs. And you just can't give up because it takes a lot of hard work and a lot of dedication to succeed in that sport and just in life,
Yeah.
really. And so it's taught me that as
Wow.
well.
I'm being so young
Yeah.
because there are so many things that you can never be prepared for.
Mm-hmm.
But even when you're younger, it's like you're just there's no way you can prepare for it.
No, that was a really awful experience. But because I brought 3 horses to that event. I ran my first horse in the same saddle, everything was fine, and the second one, and it was just a crazy experience. But I'm so grateful to have made it through. And
And the way you see that experience, did that change with time? Maybe at the beginning you were, I don't know, for example, being very sad and regretting everything, but with time you understood why it happened and maybe it taught you something very important that now you are grateful for example.
yeah, at the beginning, I was just mad I couldn't ride. That's what I was mad about. I was like, because I couldn't ride for 7 months because it kept on getting delayed, kept on getting delayed. And I was just like, why is it? I mean, why is this happening to me? Like, what is going on? Like, why me? Basically, as everyone asks those questions anytime
Uh-huh.
something happens. But it did, it just taught me like now everything happens for a reason. Truly, everyone goes through something for a reason, and you don't realize it at
When it
in the
happens.
moment. But then growing now, it's just being grateful for life and for all the experiences because all of us are just living, and so it's also not taking things too seriously because that was something else I could afterwards had kind of struggled with was I need to be the best, I need to be the best. Like if I hit a barrel, it was the end of the world, right? And it was like, well, take a step back now and realize like this partnership with the horses and just being able to compete at all, being able to ride at all. Some people, don't make it out of accidents like that and aren't able to even
Taking
walk again.
perspective
Yeah.
of what the real situation is.
Yeah, exactly. And there's been like a few other moments, the ground, sometimes if the ground's not good, your horse will fall or something, but it's just like being grateful that you can walk out pretty much.
Yeah. After also this, what you said, not taking things too seriously,
Mm-hmm.
handling pressure, handling every competition, in everything, that every time there's something on the game,
Mm-hmm.
there's pressure and there's the risk of taking it too seriously.
Mm-hmm.
How did you learn to flow and enjoy what you said, being grateful for everything? The possibility just to compete is a gift. And
Yeah.
how do you learn to see it that way, and how was the process?
I didn't learn that till, kind of recently. And even with modeling, like that's really helped as well because I would go into every barrel race and I would be like, oh no, I'm gonna go win this thing. It's like, but that's not the main goal. The goal is to go enjoy this and all of that. And I'd be up for insane barrel races. Like I remember in Las Vegas, I went to the Vegas Toughest and I competed. I traveled all the way from Georgia and drove to Las Vegas with my parents and 2 horses. And being able to just kind of take a step back and realize I made it this far and being like, whoa, I've already done this. I'm being so grateful to even make it to that level because those are the top youth in the entire country that have worked and worked and worked, and these are the top horses in the country. And being like, I am here, and just living in the moment. Living in the moment is so important, and knowing that if something doesn't work out right then, that's for a reason. And there's always going to be another time, and there's always going to be something else, and not just putting so much pressure, because that will really take a toll. I had done that. I had struggled a long time with putting too much pressure on myself and just ruining the sport for me and ruining, horses and everything for me because I was putting so much pressure on
Why you
myself.
were doing everything from the first moment.
Yeah. And it's just realizing where you're at in life and being grateful for that, and kind of just, like you said, taking the full perspective. And even now with modeling and like castings and all of that, it's like you just have to go in and be confident in yourself and know that, hey, if you don't get this job, there's always going to be another casting. That one just wasn't for you. And that's okay.
Yeah, exactly. And what you just said about like when there's too much pressure, and you understand that like this capacity to take perspective, but maybe you do it once and you understand yourself, but how not fall again in the mind and losing control, like because it's not the same to know something but to practice it every day. How do you not get lost in the mind and the competition and going back to all that mental state?
Taking a step back and having to take a breath. And they'll be like, okay, go take a breath. And before every run as well, whoever I'm with, I make them say a prayer with me and just have God ease my nerves.
You have your rituals that give
exactly.
you
Being consistent.
align you.
My routine that I have, a routine really helps. And anything like that, anytime I'm feeling too much pressure, I just have to tell myself, like constantly tell myself to take a step back, take a look around, and be in the moment. That's something that's so important. And even there are still times where I'll find myself getting too much in the competition or too much in the pressure of it all, and I'm just like, relax. My nervous system's going crazy, and I'm like, nope, we gotta calm it down. And that's something that I also try to help others with around, because it takes a lot to learn that and to really put that into practice. And so anytime I can, even like my best friend, she competes every single weekend with these horses too, and I'm like, it's okay, take a step back, take a breath, and look around.
Simple things that are so powerful, but as simple as they are, we can skip them.
Yeah. And it's one thing I'm always laughing. I'm like, y'all, we just need to go touch some grass. Let's just go outside and touch some grass.
Do some grounding.
Yeah. Turn on some music and do a dance. I always have to do like a pre and post little dance it out. And it's always so funny anytime I'm feeling nervous, because the horses can feel your nerves. Even from a mile away, they can feel your nerves. I mean, you're sitting on their back. If they can feel a tiny little fly, they can feel all the energy flowing through you. And so really being calm and being in a almost meditative state really helps. And I got to where I had a habit of singing Unwritten by Natasha Bedingfield, maybe is her name. We would just like sing it to my horse Con, and he would always, his ears would perk up, and it was just kind of like a fun, lighthearted little moment before I'd go in and make my competition run. So it's just making small little habits that are fun, that gets your mind off of the competition and more of just kind of like in the moment and having fun that really helps.
I think nature really can be a mirror of what we are. Nature always animals perceive and are so transparent that make us realize that we have, all of us, we have an impact in everyone we touch, everyone we have a little touch, we are impacting. So how important it is to be responsible of our own energy and aware of what we are transmitting.
Energy is so important, so important. And it's like, even like you were saying, nature really does have that mirror. And it's like, if I go into the barn and I'm having a bad day, every single one of those horses are going to have a bad day. Like you can't, and then you'll go and try to blame the horses on that, when really you need to take a look in, because it's your energy or my energy that's causing havoc throughout the entire barn and throughout everything. And it's just like you were saying, just being calm and having the positive energy.
And in those days maybe that you really you're struggling to handle your own energy, what do you do? Like maybe you skip training, or you do it anyway and risking having a bad day?
If I'm having a bad day, or if my horses are having a bad day, then I'll I'll turn them out to the field, and we have a fun day. I'll go and just let them run, and then I'll watch them, and it almost brings me peace as well, just watching them run. Or I'll do something that takes my mind off, because if I'm having a bad day, there's no sense in going and trying to train.
That
Truly.
is the first filter.
Mm-hmm.
If you're in yours, if you're center, if you're aligned, then you move on.
Mm-hmm.
But if the bases are not well, you can't
Yeah.
move on.
But then also at like the high professional level too. Like now I'm not competing as much as I was, but then you'd have to shut it off. Like you'd completely have to shut it off. And it's like whenever I'm running multiple horses at a time, if I have a bad run on one horse, I'll take a piece of paper, I'll crumble it up, or I'll take a piece of, like, walking from the arena back to the barn, I'll see something on the ground that's trash, crumble it up, throw it away. That's what that run was. It doesn't matter anymore. It's in the past. What's in the past we need to focus on right now, which is the next horse, right? Because that horse needs to have just as much positive energy and just as much
a blank
blank space completely, like a whiteboard. Wipe it off. Next one, let's go. Just completely leaving that in the past. We can deal with that later, but got to move forward.
I see a lot of mindfulness and a lot of training to be here and now, to really in everything, and like in sports and in modeling also at the same time, to always be center and to be your best here and now, to have a positive impact in what you want to do. So how was were you always this way? Like, I don't know, before, how was your personality or your identity before 15? That was when you went to the farm, and how it was transformed.
I have always been a very anxious person. I struggled badly with anxiety since I was 9. Very bad anxiety, and constantly anxious. I was constantly worried about, okay, if I don't do this, what's going to happen? If this and this happens, like, it's the end of the world. Basically, I was constantly, and that's what, then I realized, like, I was putting so much pressure on myself with my anxiety, and it comes in waves, like getting back in that kind of downfall spiral. It happens to everyone, and you just have to take the recognition and the self-awareness to know, like, it's not healthy to live like this, and even getting help from others if that's what you need to, and just because it truly is damaging to have that kind of anxiety, and it's hard. It really is hard, and so many people go through it, but yet so many also don't understand it. And so everyone will be like, oh, you just need to calm down, like, it's not that deep. Like, I remember my trainers being like, Presley, calm down, like, calm down. And I just couldn't. I really couldn't. And it's only till recently that I've kind of found this mindset of being in the moment and being aware and present. And I really am excited to see how the next rodeos go now with this kind of mindset. But beforehand, it was like in the back of my mind, there was always that pressure and that, well, you could have done better. Well, you could, or like that kind of anxiety. And so now it's within the past couple of months that I've kind of gained this kind of perspective.
Nice. Congratulations. Because yes, anxiety is something that happens inside that no one can see. No one can see, and it's something that you learn to handle and to ask help. So and it's really self to get to overcome it by yourself.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't by myself. I had some help, but it's because even though you can hide it and mask it, like you said, the nature is always going to show. Their horses are always going to show it. Like, I remember some of my horse, I'd be like, no, like, I'm fine. And I'd be doing my little, like, nervous habits or something, and my horse is all anxious and all nervous, and my trainer would be like, girl, you're not fine. Then why is your horse freaking out? Like, okay, well, you got me there. Got it. Called me out for that. So it's definitely something that takes time to work through, but I'm glad to have found the resources and found the knowledge to have now.
They learn to handle and to ask help.
Exactly.
Yeah. I think it was amazing. Yeah. I think I don't know if there's something that you would like else to mention or to talk about that you feel is important that you like to discuss.
go be one with nature, truly. Anytime you can, just take a step back and have that kind of perspective that we're all here on earth. We're all made one by God, and go look at his creations, go just find some peace and go ride a horse if you can. Truly. We need to get you on a horse soon. So that's going to be our next thing.
Nice. Yes. Learn from nature and open yourself to nature.
Exactly. Be open to new experiences and new life lessons, because there's always something to learn and everything happens for a reason. And just have an open mind and be kind to people, because you never know what they're going through. And always try to be that person that can be there for a stranger. So
Thank you.
thank you so much for having me on. This was awesome.
Last thing, every guest, before ending, you have the chance to ask me one single thing that, from any context, just one thing that you feel like asking me.
Okay.
Related to what we talked or no?
Well, how do you feel after this conversation? Like, what did you learn anything, or did you?
Yes, I feel, as we talked a lot about being present, it gave me back awareness to how I was breathing and to really connect with you right now. I must say I was nervous because I wasn't sure if I was recording. I think I was, but I think it is.
Okay, good.
But I was like, oh no, I'm losing my mind. I'm going somewhere else when I'm here. Even though if I wasn't recording, this conversation is pure gold. So whatever happened there,
it happens.
I really want to appreciate this moment. So it was a really nice reminder to be here now and recognize how I was going away for a few seconds and not saying no. So
just breathe.
Yes, the importance of, in every area of life, in anything you do, to be here and now, really connected with your senses, your body. So yes, and also the power of nature. I think living in a city as I do and as we are now is not the same. You maybe have parks, you maybe have green spaces, but nature is what we are, what we come from, and we distance ourselves a bit too much sometimes.
Yeah, or just any sort of passion. Find something that you really enjoy to do, and find something that you can put your whole heart in, and that you can find yourself in, and that be your safe space as well.
So this was the reflection, and I think it was incredible. Thank you so much, Presley, for this, for opening yourself, for sharing with so much vulnerability and love for what you do and what is part of you. So thank you. I hope the audience enjoy this. Of course they will. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
And thank you for being here. Until next time. Bye.
Bye.